If you've been following this series, you know that there's only one item left I need to make the Crystal Ball. Nuggets. And getting this item will cause me to question whether I can even call myself an Iron Man. No banking, no trade, no aid, so far. This is the story of how Tinker might have to sacrifice her Ultimate Iron Man status to gain the next Tailor level. The Crystal Ball is a crazy 6-ingredient recipe that's keeping me from reaching level 25 Tailor. As a lover of the profession system, my goal for this series has always been to make a new recipe at every Tailor level. But this one's been different. I've punched my way up to 93 combat, blasted out a nearly triple-digit minor level, and conquered the specter of my own self-doubt to acquire 5 of the 6 ingredients for this recipe. But that's nothing compared to what I need to do to get nuggets. So how would an ordinary non-Iron Man player get nuggets? Well, realistically they'd probably just buy them from a market, but I can't use markets. So, how would an ordinary player get nuggets? If you win a King of the Hill battle in a region with your alliance, you can place a prism to control that area, and if later on you win a second King of the Hill, KOTH as the cool kids call it, nuggets will be distributed as a drop from all the mobs in the area for everyone in your alliance. For an Iron Man, it's a different story. If I'm not accepting any help from other players, I don't know if I can really join an alliance. No one's been here before. I'm kind of defining the rules for the first time. But if I wanted to do this truly on my own, I'd not only need to found a guild and alliance, but win a KOTH to place a prism and another to distribute nuggets around the mobs of the region. In all honesty, I don't know if it's possible to do this without help. KOTH requires a 5 versus 5 PvP win, and if you want that, I don't know, ask MVP or someone else. I do PvM.
Like even MVP might die here.
It then also requires a numeric map win, which means the alliance who can stand on the most tiles claims victory. Basically. As I'm only one single player, I'd basically need every other alliance on Jahash to lay down flat and let me win. So is that it then? Am I gonna need to join an existing alliance to get nuggets? Probably yes. Does that make me less of an Iron Man? Maybe a little bit. Maybe that's the sacrifice I'll have to make for this recipe. Tinker's story has always been about the Tailor recipe book, and I don't think I would give that up. Not when I've come so far for the Crystal Ball already. If I can't win a KOTH all on my own, I'll have to bite the bullet and accept help. But am I gonna sit down, give up, and move on without trying? You know me. Hell no. Guys, gals, and pals, listen up. This is Tinker's buck-wild plan to pretend to be a PvP alliance. I may not be able to win a 5v5 or a KOTH, but before I give up without a fight, I'm not giving up without a fight. I'm going to make every item I would need to get nuggets from an alliance battle. Here's the list. To distribute nuggets from a KOTH, you need to place an alliance prism. Item number 1. You can also attach a recycler to a prism to generate nuggets from trashed items. Item number 2. But to place a prism, you do need to be in an alliance, which is founded using an Elia gem. And in order to found an alliance, you already need to be a member of a guild, which is founded by using a Guildalogem. That's right, folks. Before I get nuggets, I'm going to make all 4 of these items. Let's start first at the Guildalogem. When I was planning this grind so long ago, the Guildalogem was a level 120 minor recipe. But the day I sat down to mine, Ankama threw me a bone with a surprise update. And making a Guildalogem actually requires level 120 minor. Wait. Excuse me? Excuse me? Why does this say level 50? I was literally just sitting down to record this, and are you telling me... Oh my god. Literally, this update just happened. This is crazy. This is... The Guildalogem is a level 50 item. Okay. What? Oh my god. I am breathing a sigh of relief right now because this random little update just made my game a million times easier. In this update, They've lowered the level requirements to make those. Oh my god, that means I almost have the level I need to make both of those items. That's crazy. I could make a Guildalogem today. I could make a Guildalogem in this recording. That's right. Let's freaking go, go, go. Most of the Guildalogem ingredients are low to mid-level drops with decent drop rates. In fact, I already had 3 of them lying around in my inventory. The only tricky one was the Scurvian carapaces. Scurvians drop these at a 26.8% rate and have a pretty strong poison and tough resistances. I learned my strategy the hard way.
Yeah, this is GG. I'm gonna take more than 72 damage. Ouch.
But got my 5 carapaces in the end.
That final Scurvian carapace. Oh yeah! Beautiful.
Oh, I also absolutely failed to beat a level 60 bounty monster, Brewman.
Ah, damn. Alright, well, that's definitely not a fight I will ever be able to beat.
But you can't fault me for trying along the way. The only odd ingredient here is the Seasonal Pebble, purchased with 3 Almokins, or Almanacs tokens, at the Temple of the 4 Seasons in the Piggy Plains.
Let's go to Lousy Pig Plain. Take me down to Lousy Pig's farm.
Now, you might remember that in episode 5, I swung all the way up to level 80 by completing Almanac's quests. And that means I'm well stocked with enough tokens to purchase dozens of these pebbles.
What's her name? Zanala? What was it? Seasonal Pebble. Cost a mere 3 Almokins. Let's cash in. Boom! There you have it.
So the recipe's complete. Let's go make it.
Guildalogem. Holy cow. Find me another Iron Man. Find me another Iron Man that's built a Guildalogem. That is so freaking exciting. Okay. How do I use a Guildalogem?
If you, like most players, have never made your own guild, all you need to do is take your Guildalogem to the guild temple in the Crackler Mountain area. I was excited! I was humming and singing as I skipped my way to 1-8.
Going to the guild hall and we're gonna get a guild made.
I was feeling pretty distractible and got lost in the caves under the temple for a minute.
First of all, I'm curious what's down this ladder. Whoa! You ever need manganese in a pinch? Go to the hole underneath the guild temple.
Okay, focus up, Tinker. Let's found a guild. I wanted something simple, something with a bit of that medieval fantasy flair that inspires so much of Dofus. I picked out the right icon, chose a cute color scheme, and a name that defines me.
Alright. The guild
Folks,
is
I am thrilled to present the Tailor's Guild.
Nice and simple, kind of medieval here. Boom. Oh my god.
I know it's silly and it's going to slow me down leveling, but I did give 1% XP to my guild. I don't think I'll ever lay down a Perceptor or anything that needs this leveling, but maybe just as a flex one day. I kind of just want to see how high my 1-member guild can climb.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome to my guild. There we go. It's perfect. It's beautiful. Confirm.
There you have it, everyone. The dog days are over. The easy part's done. I've made a guild. Next, I need to make an alliance. The Alliagem is much harder to create than the Guildalogem. Not only does it require an entire extra Guildalogem to complete, it also needs a more advanced pebble and a slew of rarer and higher level monster drops. Let's break it down. The second Guildalogem won't be hard to make anew. I've got plenty of Almokins to spare, and I know I can get all the ingredients. I just did it. This game is definitely taunting me though. As I grabbed some of the flint to remake this gem, I got a frustratingly named
Flint?
drop.
Crystal of all stone. What? Pardon? Pardon me?
Sadly, the Obal stone is useless for creating the crystal Obal. No shortcuts here. The first easy Eyelids ingredient is the level 100 lunar pebble. I can pick this baby up from the Almanac's temple shop with the almokins I still have in the bag. It's 5 times more expensive than the seasonal pebble, but I have more than enough cash lying around. Thank you, Zenamla. Sanamla. It's Almanac's backwards. The Eyelids also requires Wabbit Teeth, Strange Ore, and Starfish Eyelids. These are all dropped by manageable mobs within my level range, so I swept them away pretty easily. The Strange Ore has a low drop rate, but the Robionicles are easy to defeat at this point. I battled one after the other until I hit that lucky low drop rate. Easy, breezy, yes. Beautiful. Next, the Wabbit Teeth. I need 10 of these common drops from almost all Wabbit Island enemies. Took me about 15 minutes to run around and finish them all, and it was a great opportunity to put some numbers toward the Wabbit Island hunting quests in the meantime. Completely random, but I don't know, I love questing, you know me. Starfish Eyelids were just a little bit trickier, if only because it was harder to find manageable groups of starfish. The Sufokian Bay is another one of those areas that sometimes just gets swamped by drop hunters. So the eyes are far from rare, with an effective drop rate over 50%, but they aren't a 100% guarantee like the Wabbit Teeth were. Still, I made quick work and wrapped up the starfish fights in about 20 minutes. So, 5 minutes to buy a pebble, 15 and 20 to grab teeth and eyelids. Maybe you're thinking, Tinker, this sounds so easy, why did you spend like 40 months making this episode? Well, things are gonna get spicy with the next 3 ingredients. Bliblido Horns, Dalbweel Knives, and ugly Tofu Beaks. Here we go. Let's take a little break and talk about the minor levels here. Since Ankama surprisingly lowered the levels of the gems, I only needed 50 minor to make the Guildalogem. I've already reached 80 from episode 5 to make the Backlalite, and I tried to gain a lot of levels for an Almanacs back in the day. On top of all that, I gained a few random levels while making alloys for the items off screen last episode, putting me at level 98 minor. Now, I need level 100 minor to craft the Eyelids, my highest level recipe yet. So you know what that means. It's time for another epic mining montage. Okay, that's enough. Let's get back to the ingredients. I'd forgive you for thinking Bliblido Horns will be the hardest ingredient to achieve. This is a level 146 item, currently a whopping 53 levels over me. What's more, the horns drop at a pitiful 2% base rate, coming out to still under 3% with my prospecting bonus. And I need to get 4 of them. But don't despair. This won't be a grind to level 150 video. I have the power of tactics on my side. You see, the Bliblido have a powerful damage and AP poison spell.
Your own. Okay, so that hurts me for using action points.
But their max range just happens to be the same max range as my Felinchen. And since I match their movement points, and Felinchen also pushes back, this means I can knock them away and outrun them nearly every single turn. I only risk getting hit when I reach a corner, and most of the time I can distract them at that point with a kitten or a knight. That's really good news. Although I'm 50 levels outmatched, these fights are consistently winnable. The bad news is they are not easy to find, and not that quick for one-on-ones. I definitely cannot beat groups with more than 1 mob in them, and I'm also not able to get the free horn from this area's challenge achievement because I'm so dramatically under level here. That leaves me no choice but to sweep the moors every day, looking for solo Bliblidos, hoping I get lucky with that 3% drop. Eventually, fortune finally found the time to favor me. I am 1 out of 4 horns done.
Oh! Oh! Check it out, check it out, check it out! That is the first Bliblido horn! Yes! Oh, that could not have come sooner. That I'm so glad. I was really starting to get bored of Bliblido hunting.
I'm not checking these off as complete yet, but I know they're achievable, however time consuming. I'll be coming back here whenever I'm in between tasks or maybe just bored to take a few cracks at this rare drop rate. The second tough ingredient is 10 Dalbweel Knives. Fun trivia fact, this is also the heaviest ingredient in total for the Guildalogem. By level, this one's not so bad. The Dalbweel knife is a level 86 item with a decent base drop rate of 32%. But boy, are these buggers nasty. The Dalbweels hit hard and from a pretty far range, and their AI is focused on hit and run. They have a brutal power reduction spell that makes all my attacks weaker. And on top of that, they have up to 60% water resistance. My main elemental attacks do almost nothing against their weakening and resistance combined. My only hope for beating these bad boys was to get the heck out of dodge. I sent summon after summon to crash against a Dalbweel shield, dealing tiny amounts of damage every time, while Tinker cowered in a corner. Finally, I whittled him down for the kill. That was brutal, and I didn't even get the drop. Let's do a quick math problem here. If these Dalbweel fights take up to 20 minutes each, and my success rate is only about 50%, and the effective drop rate is 47.68%, how long will it take to get 10 knives? Well folks, we're looking at 13 to 14 hours of raw playtime, assuming I don't go dry for the drop. Something's got to give. I either need to improve my speed, reduce my risk of failure, or maybe something else. My first idea to improve my Dalbweel hunt sent me digging through the wiki. There unfortunately aren't any achievements that reward Dalbweel knives, but there is another way to get some. This is Pincher. Pincher's trying to get the band back together for one last job, and we can help him by doing his quest back to the roots. The reason we'd want to follow this thread? Well, in the third sub-quest, the Air Myth, we can earn a reward of a whopping 5 Dalbweel knives. 5 knives would save me literally hours of time. So is it worth doing the quest? Not really. After I've met all of Pincher's old friends, the next step of the quest is a collection drop step. I'd need to beat 15 Rictus enemies to obtain the signed magic Rictus documents that the quest demands. So my options are either beat dozens of Rictus for the knife drop, or beat dozens of Rictus to get one step further in the quest. I might as well grab documents as I hunt, but sadly the quest is not going to be an ideal source for our knives. We've got to do it the old-fashioned way. Killing and slaughtering. Coming back to that math equation, I need something else to change. I've seen a handful of other players start their own Ironman in Dofus, and I couldn't be more pleased. If you're considering it, I promise it is a ton of fun and it makes the game interesting and rewarding in whole new ways. One piece of advice I'd give to a budding young Ironman kitten is just to mix it up. If you're dying to the same mob 3 or 4 times, give it a shot with just a totally different, out of left field kind of strategy. You'll be surprised how often you learn to exploit a monster's AI and play to a strength you didn't know you had. For example, one way to reliably win against the Dalbweels turned out to be laying a massive stacked trap with crowbacks. Since these Nimbostratus traps pull you toward their center, when this Dalbweel decides he's had enough hiding time, he triggers all of the traps in a single step for hundreds of damage in a single hit. Way more than I could deal with my spells, especially against his resistances. If that doesn't finish him off, it also saps up to 2 movement points per trap, taking the run out of the Dalbweel's hit and run for his turn. This doesn't really improve the speed of my fights, but it does make it way more likely that I win each fight. That's still helping our equation. To any other Iron Man on a Dalbweel grind, you gotta try the crowback stack trap go back on the map strat. Oh my god, it's just disgusting. You'll get your knives in no time. Well, in 5 or 6 hours. Could be worse. Holy cow. Ooh, that's the last knife. A single comma. Don't spend it all in one place. We have officially gotten
all of the Dalbweel knives that we need for the Elia gem. So that's excellent.
Okay, where are we at now? I've got gem, ore, knives, some random junk. We've gotten started on the horns. There is just one ingredient I haven't touched yet for the Elia gem. The ugly tofu beak. This is a 27% drop from ugly tofus, a level 103 to 115 mob only found in the royal tofu house. And this, my Ekas and Enutrophs, is officially the hardest ingredient of the entire Elia gem recipe.
And we're gonna see if we have any hope of beating them right now, because
Spoiler alert, we do not have any hope of beating them.
Yeah, okay, not bad. So this could be survivable.
Spoiler alert, it's not survivable.
The thing is, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to take on 4 of them.
Spoiler alert, you can't beat 4 of them.
Ooh, okay, so here's the kicker. They heal each other. Ah, shit, and they turn invisible. Okay, this is gonna be real bad, actually.
You can see where this is going. At my current combat capability, this is simply not happening. Not only are these tofu able to turn invisible, not only do they heal each other for about 150 HP every turn, but the blast tofu also have a fire damage poison effect that can stack up to 300 damage at the start of all my turns.
Oh. Yeah, they've got like a damage pile up as well. Okay. I'm gonna try just one more time. See if maybe that was an unlucky, all of them reaching me at the same time, but I really...
Spoiler alert, it wasn't just an unlucky one.
And the cumulative damage. Boom. Another defeat. Yeah, okay, this is not working at my current level.
Just like last episode, I'm gonna need to improve my gear to win this matchup. Don't worry, I'm doing it without a guide this time. I just don't want to grind dozens of levels when I could get the same chance and vitality boosts with a gear upgrade I'll need eventually anyway. Obviously, right now, my Tailor gear is locked at level 24. Thanks, Crystal Obal. So let's crack open the recipe books for the other professions. One upgrade I've had my eye on for a long time is the Axle, a level 72 smithing recipe. But for reasons too complicated to get into, I would need level 70 Handyman to obtain this recipe. I need to do that eventually, and it's going to be one hell of a grind, but I am not going there yet. Why, you ask? I don't know how to put this. I don't want to? 2 roads diverged and I took the easier one. I'm gonna aim to buff my chance and vitality by making the Royal Indigo Blop, Amulet, Ring, and Belt. These are decent chance items with a bunch of other bonuses I like. Action points, summons, wisdom, you name it. And they have only a few items that will be tough to get. Don't worry, I'll get to those next. The first requirement though is to bump my Jeweler and Shoemaker levels to 80. There's plenty of fun along the way, but I'd rather take this routine moment to talk about what happens next, and how we're finally going to close out the Crystal Obal recipe. Take it away, Tinker. Go off and reach level 80. What comes next? The Elia gem is just one piece of the puzzle for pretending to get nuggets as an Iron Man. I also need to make an Alliance Prism and a Recycler. A Recycler is easy to make. At level 40 Handyman and requiring pretty common drops, should be a walk in the park. But the Prism is where things branch off out of control. Hey look, level 69 Jeweler. Nice. First of all, the Alliance Prism is a level 120 Handyman recipe. That makes the grind to 70 for the Axle look like an Incarnum quest. But boy, is that just the tip of the iceberg. The Prism also requires Dragon Drop Hide, which comes from a mob in the level 120 Dragon Sanctuary. I haven't tried to beat any of these yet, but they will be the highest level mob I've had to face besides Bliblidos. I can only hope they're as easy as those Kenya Moore's porkers, because otherwise I'm going to need level grinding, gear upgrades, the whole shebang. But wait, there's more! The other high level item needed to make an Alliance Prism is the Undergrowth Substrate. This recipe requires level 120 Lumberjack. During today's Jeweler grind, I hit level 70, so I'm getting there, but still quite far off.
Boom! level 70 lumberjack, and now we can chop bamboo wood.
I'll have to see if I can get enough levels during the handyman grind, or if I'll need to do a lumberjack montage too. I have no idea. It doesn't stop there. The undergrowth substrate also requires a potion of old age. This is a much more advanced recipe than the memory potion I use for substrates in my current level range. In fact, just making this potion requires level 95 alchemist. I am currently 48, and I'll gain a few levels making potions for the jeweler and shoemaker grind, but I'm gonna have to roll up my sleeves and pluck some herbs for the rest of the levels. Don't turn off the TV yet, folks. It's grinds all the way down. Even the potion of old age requires rice to produce, which can only be harvested by a level 100 farmer. So that means, in sum, I need 100 farmer to gather the rice to make the potion of old age with level 95 alchemist to use for the level 120 lumberjack substrate, which is one of 8 ingredients for the level 120 handyman alliance prism. No thank you. I am not doing that all this episode. Stay tuned. In episode 8, I am going to tackle this absolutely messed up grind to 120 handyman, with all the stops along the way. Yikes. But for now, I don't even want to think about that. I'm just going to finish off these ugly tofu beaks. Yeah, remember the beaks? We need them for the Eyelids from like 5 whole minutes ago. I don't know about you, but I am getting lost in the web of requirements that takes us all the way back to the crystal obol. Eyes on the prize, Tinker. We're doing this all for a level 24 hat. I completed some pretty neat accomplishments as I bumped up my jeweler and shoemaker levels for the blop set. Oh yeah, I'm making the Royal Indigo blop set to get the beaks, to make the gem, to found the alliance to drop the nuggets to sew the hat. Like I said, getting lost in the requirements here. But anyway, as I leveled my crafting professions, I started to burn through my reserves of Dungeon Keeper reward drops. Unfortunately, most mid-level recipes require drops from mid-level Dungeon Keepers. Makes sense. None of these are too tough to defeat, but the most guaranteed way to get them is usually by completing achievement challenges against those Dungeon Keepers. And once I've beaten all those achievements, if I wanted more dungeon drops, I would just have to repeatedly farm the dungeon again and again and again. In the interest of saving time, I focused on 2 types of recipes. There are a few recipes scattered throughout the books which don't need Dungeon Keeper items at all. I found myself making dozens of those just to slowly pump up my levels. I put together a shopping list of items, went out to find them all, and came right back to gain a jeweler level or maybe 2 if I'm lucky. Sometimes this meant grinding regular mobs. Occasionally I could tick off a new achievement from a low-level dungeon.
And 2 for the price of 1. And that means we get lucky. Excellent with the Boostache mustache. Nice. Okay, that's pretty lucky. Ooh. Oh my god. Amazing. Level 100 off a random little quest. Not only do we get extra health points, characteristic points, and pods as usual, but at level 100, we gain action point. And a power aura. Oh, we love that. We love that. What an absolute game changer. I am inclined to try something out right away. I want to go to the Tofu zone and see if we can beat them.
Spoiler alert, we still can't.
Oh, wow, that was close. Oh, there it goes, there it goes. Hey, that was our best yet.
The other type of recipe I can leverage are those which require drops from a dungeon keeper I've yet to face. Killing a boss for the first time always awards an achievement that gives valuable drops from the dungeon.
I've really got him down. I'm 1 hit from death.
These are great because not only do they give me the opportunity to explore the rich and beautiful world of Dofus, but they also unlock recipes that are usually high enough level to give me great XP, sometimes instantly bumping up to the next jeweler or shoemaker level. Wow, look at that. We just made a level 77 jeweler recipe. Some of my highlights: I ran the Larva Dungeon for supplies. Big ups to Darren G, this unsung hero, Migoy, Pulpinder, Loopyot, and Fun. All of those folks helped stand on tiles so I could get through the Larva Dungeon again and again.
Bada boom, bada bing.
I also beat the Wah Wobot.
Yes, Yes, watch them all go. Okay.
That lets me make Farl's
Karl's
magic bracelet
magic
and hit level
bracelet.
80 jeweler.
A beautiful little item that will take me all the way to level 80 jeweler.
I'm even more proud of beating Gulo the Terrible to make the Sandals Adin for 78 Shoemaker, and then pulling in episode 6 credits and heading right back to beat him again, only faster and better. Level 79 Shoemaker. At this point, we are really running on empty in terms of supplies. I've ground out achievements from Boostash, Quaqua, Shin Larva, Wall Wabbit, Wall Wobot. I've got no recipes left in me. I mean, look. I am literally making Peewee Feather recipes for 65 XP. I slogged through 6 of these crunchers to finally hit level 80 Shoemaker. Oh boy, we are almost there, folks. We are almost there. Now here's where it all falls apart. In my amazing plan to make Indigo Blop gear, I didn't really count my resources well. For one thing, I needed to complete some treasure hunts to get Rose of the Sands. Oh, there's a full bucket. Check that out. A cart. Okay, going for a cart. I'll go more into these in a future episode, but just know that they take a little time, a little getting used to, and I find them fun, if not sometimes frustrating. Broom. Okay. The more annoying roadblock was that I accidentally time-gated myself. You see, I don't have the handyman level yet to make a Blop dungeon key. So once I had burned through the free keys from the Keymaster questline, and foolishly used all the resources from achievements,
paper pants, vitality and chance,
I was short 12 royal Blop leaves and 1 royal indigo Blop flower. Since only the bosses dropped royal leaves, and I could access the Blop dungeon once a week with the Ring of Keys, this effectively means I have 3 months of time to kill before I can pull off this set. Here's another life lesson for all you aspiring Ironmen out there. If there's an important recipe you know you really want, definitely plan out which achievements you're going to use to get the resources from. Otherwise, you'll be kicking yourself later on when you soft lock your character out of a beautiful indigo Blop belt. So this is awkward. I passed a little bit of time killing Bliblidos for some more drops, but that gets boring too. I passed a bit more time making a second Guildalogem for the Eyelids recipe, but these are just distractions at this point. I don't want to wait around for months to get footage with my new set, and yet I am just not strong enough to beat Ugly Tofu and complete this recipe. I need better gear, and I don't want to wait for the next new recipe. There is one way to upgrade your gear without making any new items. But you've seen me smith maging in the past. I don't know what I'm doing. I throw random runes on random shields and hope it works out. I needed 3 months to pass, I needed a miracle, or maybe I needed an expert. Guys, gals, and pals, it's my pleasure to share the smith maging advice of someone I consider a genuine Dofus expert, Dr. Mistopia.
Hello?
How are you doing? Thanks for calling.
I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you?
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I have just a absolute boatload of smith magic runes, and I have no idea how to smith mage. I have no idea how it works.
I can give you pointers, but the thing about smith magging is a lot of it comes to just experience. So how much do you know?
I know very little. I know the words, but I don't know what they mean. You're putting runes on items, and you play with the sync of an item, but I don't really know how that all comes together.
When sync comes to matter is when you drop and range an AP or an MP from an item.
Okay.
And basically it's just the amount of free space you have to work with.
Okay.
So there's a number to every stat.
Okay, so sync is kind of a buffer
Yes.
For you not to lose stats while you're still trying to add
Yes.
runes.
But let's move into something that's a little bit more relevant to you. So, show me your set. Maging is actually completely different when you go into lower level items. Basically, what you want to add is vitality, I assume.
Yeah, I think I need more vitality on everything I can possibly get.
If you look at the thing I sent you,
Yeah.
we look at vitality, it says that it's 0.2 is the sync value of 1 vitality. An item that has damage, it's actually decent to go for because 1 damage is worth 20 sync. That means like basically sync worth for 100 vitality.
Oh, okay. You dump the damage and then you spam vitality to work through the sync that you earned from the damage.
Like if you drop it with one chance rune, for example, you still have 19 sync, which is 19 vitality runes, which is potentially a lot of vitality because 1 sync is 5 vitality. So for your case, you're hoping to maybe drop 1 damage and then replace that amount with vitality because you're working with a very limited pool of runes.
Do I try to add the damage back on after? Is that going to eat into my high vitality?
If it were range, MP, or AP, then it would be more doable. Basically, when an item is missing an AP, it is missing 100 sync worth of a stat, because 1 AP is 100. It's like missing so much, the AP is more likely to come back.
So an item kind of wants to return to equilibrium.
The bigger the difference is, the more likely it is to come back. Kind of, sometimes.
Kind of sometimes. Okay.
Yes.
All right. There's a lot of caveats to it. All right.
Excellent.
Well, yeah. Thank you.
No problem.
I'll see how this goes on Tinker. See how much vitality I can get onto her.
Theoretically, you can get at least, like, you could get 100 per item.
That'd be amazing.
But
Realistically, we'll see.
50. I think 50 per item is very likely still.
Okay.
You just need to grind for the.
That's good. That's good.
Me on the sync, how it drains their stats. Okay, so we're at 30.8 sync. Let's see what we can do. If we run through these successes or failures or whatever, that will be exactly the sync we had from the MP room. Okay, let's go for it. 27, 24, 15, 12, 9, 18. 6 remaining. 3 remaining. Alright, last shot. Are we gonna break 150 vitality? No, we're not. No, we're not. Okay, and that leaves us with 0.8 sync. Such a huge upgrade. We went from 23, was it? 20 something vitality. And we got 145. That's just enormous as far as upgrades. 4 left, 3 left, 2 left. And the last rune before I'm out of sync. Okay, still 95 vitality. Boy, that rules. That absolutely rules. Let's put that bad boy on. We're over 1k, and with the set effect, takes us up to 1055. Holy cow. A huge thank you to Mistopia for showing me the ropes. I white-knuckled my way to the best belt and boots I've ever had. If you haven't subbed to Mistopia already, send him a thank you from me. Swing over to his channel, he does all kinds of Dofus content, and if you love my videos, you'll definitely love his too. With all this help, we are finally closing in. Eyes on the prize. I'm a few Tofu Beaks and a single Bliblido Horn from Alliance O'Clock. Big hit.
Yep. Okay.
The Tofu fight was looking bad as ever. Astro Knight went down, and I danced around the map fighting to outpace the heals of those ugly Tofu without dying to the Blast Tofu's stacked damage. But my new maged gear clearly made the difference. I started this fight with over 1,000 hit points for the first time ever on my account, and on my final turn, I had 186 left. This is nuts. The Smith maging gave me exactly 189 extra vitality. Literally, even without all the erosion I absorbed, that maging made the difference between life and death for Tinker. I'm so happy with that.
Yeah, baby!
I repeated my success in the next room and doubled back with a spare key on the old ring. For the first time ever, I am proud to announce Tinker finished a battle grind without dying a dozen times first. Nope, I'm totally kidding. I ate dirt several times, but finally beat these birds down to round off 3 ugly tofu beaks.
That's it. Oh my god.
Here we are at the last horn. The last horn. 1 Bliblido horn. 1 3% drop that's keeping me from this episode's major hurdle. Let's finish this. My Artificer level is not something I've focused on at all this series, and I intend to keep it that way. These episodes are too long already, but I did make one new idol. The damage buffing Behelit B. He lit for a tiny extra buff to drop rates. I need all the help I can get. With both my idols, the effective drop rate for the Bliblido Horn, tackling 1 boar at a time, is 5.545%. I'm prepared to scour the moors for days to find solo groups that each give me a new shot at the drop. And sadly, that is just what I had to do. Any stats nerd will tell you that unfortunately, a 5% drop rate does not mean I can kill 20 Bliblidos and be done. No, every unique fight is a new and singular opportunity to miss out on the only drop that's holding me back. At kill 20, I was just scraping the surface of losing hope.
No drop.
By kill 30, I was downright demoralized.
Never lucky.
Cumulatively, on kill 40, I had a 90% chance of having seen the drop by now, but still no horn.
It's a Rubbermac bar.
Please, Dofus, please, Enkama, this is the last piece I need for the gem. Sometimes I run through the whole plains and there isn't a single Bliblido I can fight. Sometimes Sinamarak, whoever that is, has just swept up the kills from me. Why is someone else killing Bliblidos? You son of a Bliblich! By kill 45, I tried to mix it up, and I made myself a new idol, Yosh, to try to inch up my drop likelihood. Still nothing, and as I crept up toward kill 50, fighting against the additional force of an area anomaly, I truly became worried I would never get this last horn. The odds of having gotten the drop were rapidly approaching 95%.
Level 106, folks. That was a whole level, basically just off of Bliblidos, and nothing to show for it.
With each kill taking up to 10 minutes, and every sweep of the moors revealing only 1 or 2 Bliblidos, I have no idea how much longer I'll need to grind these plains for the final horn. And so, midway through editing already, I think I'll have to call it here. We are close to the Eyelids, to the next step of the Crystal Ball, but you'll have to tune in next time to see how long it takes to finally come together. It could be 51, it could be 101, and I don't want to keep you waiting any longer. Nah, come on, I'm so kidding. Did you buy that for even a second? You know me, of course we're gonna finish the gem after all of this. We are grinding these friggin' blibs until I get that drop, and I don't care how long it takes. 50, 51, 52, 53. Oh, 53, holy shit.
Oh!
You know what this means, folks. I can hardly believe it, but Tinker is about to found her very own alliance. I made the gem, I ran to the Alliance Temple, and now it is my absolute pleasure to introduce Jahash's first ever Iron Man only alliance. Future Nugget earners, maybe KOTH winners. I'm being optimistic. Here it is. Army of One. This is an absolutely massive step towards getting Iron Man nuggets. I know we have a long way to go, reaching level 120 Handyman next episode, but look at everything we've done today. We hit level 100 Miner, we made a guild, we maged our best set ever, and we slugged out Bliblido kills till the bitter, bitter end. We are one step closer to freedom from this recipe. Crystal O'Ball, I am hot on your heels. As always, thank you all so much for watching my goofy little grind. Thank you to all my Larva Dungeon peeps. Massive shout out to Mistopia. I'm linking his channel in the description. I couldn't do this without you all. And I'll see you again next time for this same recipe. You know I like to add a little extra at the end for all you full duration watchers, so let me hit you with a double whammy this time. First of all, little announcement. I'll let you know I'm hoping to do a couple live streams of my grind to the Alliance Prism. So be on the lookout here on YouTube, drop a sub if you haven't already. I will also put out tweets a few days in advance, so if you want to be fully in the loop, pop a follow there too. Alright, here's the real bonus moment for this episode. While on a treasure hunt for the Royal Indigo Blutes, I did one of many routine checks in the attic of Arachnophobia, and I actually found the Arachne mob there. This thing apparently has a spawn time of like 12 hours, so stumbling across it is super exciting. It's such a nostalgic spot for me. I remember learning about this early on in my time playing Dofus, and I would come and just sit around here waiting to see if I could get lucky and catch the spawn. So this is great. This is absolutely fulfilling my childhood dreams. I know you can buy the spell on the market. I know. This is just more fun. Honestly, the spell is kind of underwhelming. It can't attack if it loses even a single action point. It's close combat only, it's 4 movement points. It's not that great. But I like having another summon option. I like it. So there you go. Fellow Iron Men, always check Arya's house if you're in the area. You might get lucky and get yourself a brand new little spell. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.